speed up. I'm gonna speed down. What do you want? All right. What am I looking for here? What am I looking? Oh, never mind. He stuck through. That's cool. That's cool. Let's go. That actually works in my favor. All right. Oh, come on. What? What was that? What? All right. Matter of fact, hit it. I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. Hold on for a second. I didn't even think about this for a quick second. Let me check this. I want to check this for a second. As we get set, let me check this. I want to see. I want to see here. I want to see some things here. I gotta check this, so I want to see. I don't know when this happened. No. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Let me check this out. Let me check this out. All right. This is going to be a long one. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get things set up. Your thoughts on the new Ravens coach and the firing of John Harbaugh? Where have you been the last 2 weeks? I've made like 15 streams on this. I wanted Harbaugh gone, and fine with Jesse Minter. I said if you're going to go defensive minded, he's the best candidate. If you're going to go offensive minded, he's the best candidate. Jesse Minter's going to come and bring back the defense. So those are just the cliff notes, but I've already spent hours breaking this down. I already had my streams where I talked about Harbaugh being fired, and I already had my streams where I talked about hell. I was here yesterday talking about Jesse Minter being hired. So yeah, I love Harbaugh being gone, and I love Jesse Minter being the candidate. If you're gonna go defensive minded, he was the best choice. So those are just the cliff notes. Let me. I need to test this out. I want to see something here. No way Stidham is winning. Pats are giving the belt to the Broncos. Oh, don't worry, man. We got a whole stream to talk about this. We got a whole stream to talk about this. I already know what the expectation is. Yep, I know what the expectation is. Listen, I got a whole stream. I got a whole stream to deal with this. Let me look at this, man. Yep, he's right here. Okay. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. All right, all right. Let me get out of here real quick. Let me get out of here right now. Let me get out of here right now. Let me get out of here right now. We got a whole stream to have this topic of discussion. Again, John's there to help bring back stability. The expectation isn't for him to take them to the Super Bowl. The expectation isn't even for him to take them to the playoffs immediately. He is there to bring back stability to the Giants. I made a Giant stream about this too. I tried to explain the pros and cons of John Harbaugh. That is an organization that has not had stability since Tom Coughlin left. Got fired. But since the Tom Coughlin days, they have not had stability. That is what John is there for. John is there to bring back stability to that organization. So if he can help them win 8 games next season, that's already going to be a success. That is a team that has won 7 games in 2 years. 7 games in 2 years. His job is to bring back stability to that organization. If he can do that right off the bat, it's already a victory. If he can end up taking them to the playoffs within the first 2 to 3 years of being there, that will automatically be a victory. And maybe if he's able to build a competitive roster good enough to get to a Super Bowl, that would be above and beyond. But he's there to bring stability. He's there to bring stability. I know that listen, that anytime you get dental work, I know it's going to put you in a trance because they always got to sedate you or give you some sort of anesthesia. It's not fun. All right, let's go. All right, let me set this up here. Both the Ravens and Giants are winners of what has transpired. Yeah, Giants got their guy and the Ravens got their guy too. Mentor's going to bring the defense back. I looked for your videos. Sorry, I missed your streams. Your opinions are fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I can't lie. I haven't really been making videos like that because I've been streaming a lot more because I've been enjoying speaking with the community and just being able to that's what makes streaming fun as opposed to making videos. When I make videos, I just make my videos, I'm talking to my camera, and that's just it. I'm not interacting with anyone, and that's the end of it. But when I stream, there's a lot of questions that come up. There's a lot of topics that come up, a lot of variation with the things that we could talk about. Now it's championship weekend. I think, you know what? I think they're not the 6:30 game. I'll put 4:15. Let me see here. All right. Any ideas about Chris Shula to Pittsburgh? Honestly, any one of those guys. Listen, as long as it's not Mike McCarthy, they're going to be fine. The Steelers right now, the focus needs to be getting a quarterback because, again, when Mike Tomlin was still there, they were still a competitive team that was winning games. You've got a good structure, although the way things are going, you got a lot of veteran players on this team that are they're reaching that point. Like, again, Cam Hayward, I don't know if he's going to be on that team next year. You know, at some point, you're looking at TJ Watt, he's starting to wear down. Obviously, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be here next year. I don't see that being the case. Again, the best thing for the Steelers right now is to, not saying they're going to look to do that, but they need a losing season or two because they have to get this quarterback situation right. It all starts with the quarterback. If they cannot get the quarterback situation figured out, it all starts there. All right. So hopefully that ends up being the case. But Chris Shula would be a nice fit for Pittsburgh. But again, you would have to understand that he's not there to turn them into a Super Bowl contender. This team right now needs to focus on getting a quarterback. And the best way that can happen is if they're not winning a lot of games. Pittsburgh needs a losing season or two, get the quarterback situation right, and then build up from there. After the amazing NCAA championship game, we're down to 3 more football games to go. How you doing? I'm doing great, Nicholas. I'm doing great. I'm glad football is going away for 6+ months. I could use the break. Alrighty. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, listen up, listen up, listen up. We have approached championship weekend. Just like Nicholas said, there is officially 3 more NFL games left until the season is done. We head into the offseason. We've got 4 combatants left. 2 of them will be advancing to the Super Bowl after Sunday, and one of them will ultimately be crowned as the champions after the Super Bowl has been played. So we've got 2 championship games that need to be played here. We've got the AFC Championship game, and then we've got the NFC Championship game. The AFC Championship game is between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots, whereas the NFC Championship game is an NFC West matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. That should have been picked. That really should have been picked. So, in terms of my aspect here of my predictions, I want to get my case out the way because, in all honesty, one of these cases is easy for me. The other one, I'm going to have to make a legitimate case. So I'm going to start with the easier one here just because it makes a lot more sense to start with the easier one. So let's start with my NFC predictions. This is not a difficult one for me to really predict. I came into the season picking one team to go win the Super Bowl. I said the Rams were the team I'm picking to go win the Super Bowl. I believed in the Rams since July. I said the Rams were going to be the team that was going to represent the NFC, and they were going to go win the Super Bowl. That has been my pick since the beginning. That has been my pick since the beginning. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl. That's been my pick. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Back in July, when it was going through the whole process, take a look at the team. My only concern was Matthew Stafford's health, but I said if he came back and looked like himself, I feel very confident. But again, I like the additions they added to the team. This was the team that I thought was the biggest threat to the Philadelphia Eagles the previous year. The LA Rams took the Eagles to the brink, and I said the Rams are the team in the NFC that's capable of beating the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2024 Eagles. I thought that Rams team was good enough to go get it done. I fully thought that Rams team was good enough to go get it done, and they nearly pulled off the victory. They nearly pulled off the victory. They nearly pulled off the victory. Would have been fantastic to see if they could get it done. Nearly pulled off the victory. Tough game, close game. Ultimately, the Eagles did get the win, but I liked what I saw from the Rams, and I knew they'd be back. And when they added Devontae Adams, I knew that could be the piece that helps get them over the top, because they wouldn't have to be sitting here and over-relying on, Puka Nacua for the most part to get things done. You get Devontae Adams to also be that piece for them. And I thought that would be a great addition to have. So the Rams were my Super Bowl team heading into this year. I fully believed in them. I fully bought into them. And at the end of the day, I said they were ultimately going to get this done. Oh, nah, we're not finna quit here. Listen, this is all about faith. This is all about hope. I got to be willing to take a chance. We don't have any single plays that I want to run here. Not a single one of these plays are a play I would normally run.
That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
You got to go to Sutton. Come on, Stidham. This is an easy pick. And he can't catch the ball. I hate you. I hate you. You can't catch the ball. Like, catch the ball, dude. Catch the ball. Catch the ball. Catch the ball, buddy. Catch the ball. But nah, we don't want to catch anything here. We don't want to catch the ball over here. But, yeah, I fully believed in the Rams coming into the season. I fully said the Rams were my Super Bowl pick, and I have no reason to back off of that. That's the team I initially picked when the season started. I see no reason for me to back off of that pick now, especially with them being in the NFC Championship game. Now, I picked this team to go win the Super Bowl. Picked them way back in the offseason. At the same time, I said there was one team that could potentially beat this team in the playoffs. Now, I didn't come into the season saying that, but as we got to late November, early December, as we got into that, oh wow, you are not fixed up. Gave up a field goal, crazy. Oh yeah, probably should. You just fix that.
It's really difficult to
be doing your usual thing.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
I'm gonna just pretend that's A-okay there. I'll take the field goal. I ain't really worried. I got a great defense here. But yeah. I didn't pick them to start off with, but by late November, early December, started taking a look at that team and looking at what Mike McDonald and that defense were doing. And I sat back and said, yeah, this team can be dangerous. This team can be serious. This team can be a problem. So the Rams were my team to go win it all. But I also sat back and said Seattle has grown to be a serious threat. And if there's any team that could beat the Rams in the playoffs this year, the Seattle Seahawks were the team that could pull off that potential upset. Now, in this case, I don't know if it'd be considered an upset. They actually might be the favorite because I didn't expect them to go get the #1 seed in the NFC, but that's exactly what happened. Go, Stidham, go! Let's go! So yeah, I didn't expect the Seahawks to get the #1 seed in the NFC, but here we are. So we've got the Seahawks and we've got the Rams a NFC West matchup in the NFC Championship game. What type of block is that? In the NFC Championship game, it's exactly what you would want to see. It's a perfect thing to see. It's exactly what you want to have, because whenever the NFC West goes to the title games, it's a fun blast for all of us. So we get an NFC West matchup here in the NFC Championship game. You've got a fantastic defense in Seattle. You've got a pretty damn good defense in the Rams, who, by the way, really stepped up to the plate against Chicago last week. These two teams know each other. These two teams know each other for sure. Block for me. There you go. There you go. That's how you block. That's how you block. And that's how you break out of a tackle, but you got to keep going. I need you to keep going. So, yeah, these two teams know each other. Now, in terms of how things went in the regular season, the numbers are actually relatively dead even. Obviously, they're 1-1 because both teams were able to get a win. We all know about that crazy game in Seattle where they were down big. You get a huge kick return. You get the craziest two-point conversion I've ever seen in my life. You get an overtime matchup here, and obviously the Rams scored in overtime, and then the Seahawks scored in overtime, went for two, and then ultimately, oh, that spin move was clean, and then ultimately got the two-point conversion, converted there, won the game, and put themselves in position to get the #1 seed, which is why they are where they are right now with home field advantage heading into the NFC Championship game. So we've got the Seahawks, we've got the Rams. This is a tough one. This is a really, really tough one. And yeah, this is definitely disturbing me, so guess what, camera? Since you want to be that way, beef it up. Gonna move you right there. There you go. That's much better. So, these two teams know each other. These two teams are well equipped with each other. These two teams, they know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing when it comes to facing off against this opponent. They're both highly aggressive. Offensively, who has the edge? No question, offensively, the Rams have the edge. They've got so much firepower with Puka Nacua, with Devontae Adams, who hasn't exactly looked like himself, since coming back from the injury, but at some point we expect him to return to form. And, of course, you also got Kyren Williams there to run the ball effectively for them. Matthew Stafford leading the charge, who, by the way, is Matthew Stafford would technically be, not technically, he is the best quarterback remaining in the playoffs. And Matthew Stafford right now has an opportunity to add to his legacy in a major way. Has a clear opportunity to add to his legacy. We can have legit top 10 conversations with this man. He's in the MVP conversation. A lot of people believe he's going to ultimately win MVP. That could be the case. I got blocked. What a block. Oh, nah. That offensive line did fantastic. I couldn't switch to the linebacker in time. They put me at the freaking safety. I was trying to go linebacker to adjust there. I couldn't adjust in time. I knew he was going to play action. That's why I got cover one ready. Get down. I was ready for it. I was absolutely ready for it. With our defense, we could pull this off. But, yeah, legitimately, Matthew Stafford can make himself a strong case to be a top 10 quarterback all time if he's able to finish off this run. That's a pick. 2 Super Bowls. And that's Patrick Surtain. I don't even know why you're trying him. Why are you trying him, Drake May? That's Surtain. Why are you trying him, Drake May? That's easy money right there. Easy money. But yeah, he's in the MVP conversation. He's already won a championship. He gets a second Super Bowl. He wins the MVP too, man. Top 10 quarterback all time. You can legitimately make that argument with Matthew Stafford. And it's crazy to say that. Also going to be crazy to see how a lot of people talk about the overall trade, because when we saw the trade, the Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford trade, the main purpose of that trade was for both teams to win. Everyone said that was a dead even trade. It was a win-win. But honestly, if the Rams win another Super Bowl, it's officially a trade that the Rams completely finessed. Because at this point, the purpose of getting Matthew Stafford, the Rams, the purpose of getting Matthew Stafford was so that they could win a championship now. Jared Goff was not cutting it. They took a lot of risk by giving up a lot of first-round picks. They needed to win a championship right away. So they went and got Matthew Stafford, who was capable of taking them over the hump. They did that. In return, the Lions needed a complete reset and rebuild under Dan Campbell. They went and got Jared Goff. And for a while, it worked out because the Rams got their Super Bowl in 2021, and the Lions became one of the best teams in football, and it looked like they were on their way to getting their own Super Bowl. That was supposed to be the case, but we all saw what happened in the NFC Championship game. This team folded, they choked the lead to the Niners, and since then, they went from the NFC Championship game to the divisional round to missing the playoffs. Funny enough, that's the exact same situation that happened to Baltimore. Baltimore and Detroit are living the exact same simulation because Baltimore and Detroit were both in the title game in 2023. 2024, they lost in the divisional round, and in 2025, they both missed the playoffs. So I guess Baltimore and Detroit are both in a similar path right now. Baltimore changed things up. I'm not saying you should fire Dan Campbell. That's not the case, but you know, it's actually funny to see how things ultimately turned out in that case. It's interesting to see how things ultimately turned out there for both teams in this situation. Very similar. Anyway, the Lions were supposed to be able to compete and potentially win a Super Bowl in the long run. But now they're out of the playoffs right now. And the Rams have a chance to go win another Super Bowl. You win 2 Super Bowls, then at the end of the day, you cannot tell me the Lions and the Lions and Rams trade's dead even. They got 2 rings with Matthew Stafford, and you guys didn't even sniff for Super Bowl, despite being one of the best teams in football with Jared Goff and this explosive Lions offense. If that ends up being the case, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a good look. It's not going to be a good look. Detroit will absolutely be the losers in this situation if the Rams get it done. With that being said, let's get back to the topic at hand. Rams, Seahawks. These two teams know each other very well. Divisional foes. They faced off in the regular season. The Rams won the first one, and then the second one, the Seattle Seahawks pulled off an amazing feat. They pulled off an amazing feat, that epic comeback in the fourth quarter to win this game, got it done in overtime, and claimed the #1 seed. That'd be cool, but I'm going to just run it up the gut. I trust my offensive line. I trust my offensive line. This is how you do it. This is how you do it right here. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, man. This is how you do it. Run that ball, trust in your defense. So, yeah, Rams have the advantage offensively because of the weapons they have. You know, Matthew Stafford slinging the rock to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. You also have Kyren Williams in the backfield. They've got a lot of talent on that offensive side. You can trust in these guys to be able to show up. These weapons have been showing up for Stafford all year. They've been executing in key situations throughout the season. I expect them to do that as well. They've been executing the playoffs as well. Now, Matthew Stafford isn't having a great postseason. Take a look at the numbers. Take a look at the performances. You have not seen the very best from Matthew Stafford. In fact, he has struggled at times in this postseason. He struggled against Carolina, which people don't talk about, and against Chicago. People understood the struggles because you're going up against a tough Bears defense, but you're also playing in the snow. So it made sense for the struggles. But still, he played well enough in the biggest moments of the game to ultimately get the victory, and that's ultimately what matters here. Showing up in the biggest moments with the season on the line, that's what matters. And that's exactly what Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense did. So, credit to those guys for the most part in executing. Defensively, now, for the Seattle Seahawks offense, they're still a great offense. Of course, you know, Kenneth Walker's still running the rock extremely well. And, of course, you got JSN, and JSN has been one of the best receivers, if not arguably the best receiver this year in football. JSN has been a complete monster. He's been fantastic. I mean, that guy is easily Sam Darnold's go-to man. When Sam Darnold first went to the Seahawks, you know, when he first got announced this offseason that he's going to the Seahawks, we immediately said that the connection between him and JSN will be immaculate because that is going to be his go-to guy. That has to be the guy he trusts. That has to be the guy he leans on. And that's exactly who that guy has been for Sam Darnold. Speaking of Sam Darnold's only played one playoff game, and it was one playoff game so far in this postseason, and it was against the San Francisco 49ers. And in that game, Sam Darnold played well. Now, of course, his defense dominated. The run game was immaculate, and he didn't have to do too much. That's great. I don't know if he can have that type of performance or that type of usage in this type of game this week. And this also has to be noted. He's going up against the Rams defense that he has struggled with. He has struggled against the Rams. In 2 games this season, Sam Darnold has turned the ball over 6 times. 6 turnovers against the Rams defense in 2 games. We all know the Rams defense has been Sam Darnold's kryptonite. When he was with the Minnesota Vikings last year in the wild card round, they decimated him. In the 2 games that he's played against them, his numbers look terrible. He stepped up to the plate in the biggest moment of the game when they faced off that second time. So that's good on him. But overall, overall, this is going to Sutton. All right, Stidham, show me what you can do, bro. There it is. Show me what you can do. He's wide open. First down. That's just great play design. That is great play design right there. Once I saw single high safety, I knew this play was going to be effective. All right. But, yeah, Sam Darnold has struggled against the Rams defense. He showed up in the biggest moments in that second game in overtime. He took them down the field, scored a touchdown. Also, when they were able to make stops, he was able to get that touchdown to end the 2-point conversion to help them out. So again, Sam Darnold has made some strides, and it seemed like he made a lot of great progress in that second game. Will that continue on here? They're going to need it to. I don't like anything I'm seeing here. Throw the ball away. Oops, I should have run out of bounds. I should not have run out of bounds. That's not what I wanted to do. Son of a... Oh, my God, I didn't mean to do that. And they're going to go single high safety. They're not going single high. They're not going single high. Okay, I'm essentially asking for protection here. No, I can't go with Mims Jr. Oh, I can't go with Mims over the middle. That's just, you're asking to get picked. They're already ready for that play. Okay, I know where I got to go with the ball. I just need time. I just need time. I just need time. I missed him. Damn it, Stidham. You completely missed him. We got to punt this. We got to punt this. I needed the first down. I shouldn't have taken the sack. We could have been in field goal range. Damn.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away.
That was a terrible punt. That was a terrible punt by me, I ain't gonna lie. But, yeah. Sam Darnold made some huge strides. So I give the man credit. He made some huge strides. What? How did he get past me? How did he get past me on the keeper? He got skinny. He literally got skinny on that play. I can't believe it. He got skinny on that play. He literally got skinny on that play. I cannot believe it. Oh, nah. There was a clear... Oh, my God. That was a play. There was a play I wanted. But, yeah, it seemed like Sam Darnold was starting to show strides, which is exactly what you want to see. He was starting to show strides, which is exactly what you want to see. He was starting to show strides, which is fantastic. It's exactly what you want to see. Please don't be out of position, guys. There's nowhere for him to go. I was too late to react. Oh, my God, I was too late. Oh, my God. I had him dead to right, and we gave up an 18-yard run on 2nd and 17. I can't believe this, bro. I can't believe this, bro. We gotta do a contain, bro. We gotta contain this. I can't believe it. We didn't have a quarterback. I did not have a quarterback spy, and he's been running. Oh my God! Everybody's out of position now. Everybody's out of position. We give up a touchdown. Everybody's out of position. We give up a touchdown. That's the first time we've broken in the first half here. That's not what we want. That is not what we want at all. Okay. I've been playing it safe because obviously we have to, but this is an important drive with a minute left. We got all 3 timeouts. I definitely got to attack the secondary of this Patriots defense. It'd be great if we could get a good return. Come on, keep your feet, keep your feet, keep your feet. Don't go backwards. Why? Why did you go backwards? Okay. Coach, what are these plays? I can do a crosser. Please. It's single high safety. Sutton. I don't think they're going to see him. Okay, please. We go play fake, play fake. Come on, Sutton. Come on, Sutton. Sutton. Oh my God. I could be getting picked up. Oh. Ooh.
excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
We'll see how much they give him the ball here.
I can do this play action matchup, but I'm going to need time. I'm going to need time. We go play fake. We ran the ball enough. There it is. Oh, my God. No. He was open. He was absolutely open. It was executed. He had a step. I just needed protection. I don't have a single play that's going to work here on third down. Not a single one of these plays are effective. Not a single one of these plays are effective. I hate their play sheet. There's nothing here to work with. Oh, my God. I don't have anything to work with here. There's no way, dog. There's nothing to work with here. I'd rather just take another chance with the same play because I don't have anything to work with here. This is bad. This is bad. Wait. Come on. Turn. Caught it. First down. Perfect. I could play online. I'm not playing online right now, but I could play online. I just set this up. I literally set this up like I set this up like 2 minutes into the stream, specifically because this was supposed to be a whole thing about, you know, sticking up for the Denver Broncos. I'll take the underneath here, and you got to go out of bounds. 35 seconds. Oh, boy. Mims. I like Sutton coming across, but I also need Mims. Let's see. There it is, Mims. You got this, man. This is one-on-one. And they're not going to call pass. That's clearly interference. I don't see how you don't even look at that and call that interference. That's clearly interference. All right, son, I'm going to send you down. I don't see a single high safety. If this is executed well, Sutton's going to get himself. Wait, wide open. I'm not even going to lie. Wide open, Mims. Come on, man. Get the edge. First and goal. But, yeah, back to my topic of discussion as I'm trying to get this touchdown here before halftime. Sam Darnold seemed to figure something out finally against the I got all 3 timeouts. I can run this ball. Finally against the Rams. In that fourth quarter and overtime, it seemed like he had finally started to figure things out there. And that's great to see for Sam Darnold because he's going to need it. This is easily going to be the biggest test of Sam Darnold's career. He has to show up. Advantage goes to the Rams from the offensive side. The Rams offense is just better than the Seahawks offense. So the Seahawks have had a great offense. Obviously, Clint Kubiak's been doing a fantastic job with that unit. It's been a great season for Sam Darnold, a fantastic season for JSN, a great season for them. Now, Charbonnet's not going to play in the game. That's definitely a blow, but I still trust in them being able to execute efficiently offensively. I just trust in them in being able to run this because they be able to run their plays effectively and still make an impact offensively because they know they can trust in that demon. They can trust in that demon unit that they have back there. That defense is something special. Which brings me to the defense. If we're talking about edges here, the defense has the edge here. The defense clearly has the edge for Seattle. The Seattle Seahawks win the matchup because they've got a better defense. The Rams' defense is great. We all know it. But the Seahawks, they've got the best defense in the playoffs. This is the type of defense you need if you're going to go win a Super Bowl. They've got a Super Bowl caliber defense right here. Are you serious? Singleton, you're in position. That could have been a pick 6. Bro, you got to turn around and find that. What are we doing there? You got to turn around and find that. 5 seconds left. He's not going to be able to get in position. Pick him. Oh, out of time. Stay out of time. Should have went out of bounds. We'll go into the second half. Don't matter. I get ball first coming out of half. So it don't matter. I didn't really need that touchdown, but I wanted that touchdown. I'm trying to put myself in position to win this. We go put together a great drive here. We're going to be A-okay. But yes, Seattle has the defensive edge. It's not even close. Seattle has the defensive edge. The Rams have had a really good defense this year. I'm not gonna say they've had a really good they've had a pretty decent defense this year, but if there's anything that's been a weakness for them this year, it's been the defense. There's been times where the defense has just not played up to par. There's times where you've asked the defense to make stops in crucial situations, and they've been unable to. In fact, the defense is the only weakness on the Rams in terms of this unit. Special teams has been relatively effective. Offensively, they got one of the most explosive offense in the league. Their defense at times has been very worrisome. And that's why me personally, as someone that picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl, I've had concerns about this team in the playoffs when it comes to their defense, which is why I was so impressed by what I saw from that defense last week against Chicago. Now, I know Chicago's not this high-octane offense with elite weapons, but the Bears have a pretty damn good offense, and they had a pretty good offensive season under Ben Johnson. And that Rams defense did a fantastic job for much of the game in being able to slow down Caleb Williams, being able to create turnovers. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Spin move. Keep my feet. Let's go. Gone. Touchdown. So, yeah, straight up. They did a good job against Caleb Williams and the Bears. But again, you saw that moment on the 4th down play with the Bears season on the line. You saw on 4th down with the Bears season on the line, they give up a touchdown. It's great that they held these guys to 17 points. I'm glad that the Rams defense held Chicago to 17 points. But at the end of the day, if you don't give up a 4th down play, you hold them to 10 and make an even better statement. I just have concerns with this Seattle defense. When the play breaks down, if you have a quarterback that can escape and make a great play, you can get these guys. At times, the defense, especially in the secondary, at times that secondary gets caught watching. They can get caught watching, which puts them out of position. You can take advantage of it. Now, Sam Darnold's not a quarterback that's going to be escaping the pocket and making all these great throws on the run. But it's not like Sam Darnold isn't capable of doing that. He's not doing that consistently. That's not his forte, but he does have the capability of doing so. And he showcased that last time he faced off against them. So if the defense of the Rams is not careful, they're going to be caught off guard when JSN all of a sudden breaks free in some of these moments. So is that a fumble? So in some of these moments, you need to be prepared defensively. And I feel at times that secondary for the Rams, they end up getting caught. They end up get caught lacking. They legitimately at times will make mistakes. They be overly watching what's happening with the quarterback and not paying attention to the defender or the receiver they're trying to defend. They get caught watching, and then all of a sudden, they get beat because they're not paying attention to their guy. Or they end up committing a penalty they shouldn't have committed, and they wouldn't have committed if they just would have paid attention to their guy. Things like that happen at times. So, yeah, with the defense of the Rams, I have concerns, but that does not mean I don't think they can get it done. I still trust in the Rams defense to at least be good enough to slow down Sam Darnold. Because if there's any quarterback this defense has been able to be effective against, it has been this quarterback. So I have to give this Rams defense the benefit of the doubt. When they have gone up against Sam Darnold, they have forced him to make mistakes. They have pressured him consistently. They have gotten to him. They have consistently gotten to him. So I've got to give credit where credit is due. I've got to give credit where credit is due. So defensively, the edge goes to Seattle. But that does not mean the Rams defense can't do a number on Sam Darnold, because they absolutely can. And who on the defense got caught lacking? Who on the defense got caught lacking on 2nd and 17? I got to make some adjustments here with this secondary, because for some reason, some of y'all are getting caught lacking on these plays. Maybe we just have to continue the blitz, because when I'm sending pressure, my guys are getting to them. Like, legitimately, my guys are getting to them. When I send pressure, my guys are getting to them. But when I don't send pressure, my guys can't touch him. And Drake May has all the time in the world to just sit back there and find the open man in the secondary, because somebody's out there making mistakes. I just got to make an adjustment or two. But obviously, the ball is in my court. I got to continue to execute offensively.
The Broncos offense and their running back getting set to go once
Let's
more.
hope they're not ready for the
But
screen.
as you take a look at the
They are
numbers, you have to
absolutely
be
ready for the
watching who's
screen,
the top
but that
of
doesn't mean I don't slip the tackle.
defense. We've got to find a way
So
to slow
yeah,
them down. That's
I
probably
don't
what they're
I don't
saying.
think I have a favorite Madagascar movie.
Has worked so far.
I mean, other than the first one, I don't think I have a favorite Madagascar movie.
They'll hand it
Oh,
off
that's
now.
fantastic blocking, guys. That's fantastic blocking. That's a spin move. That's fantastic blocking. Keep your feet. That's fantastic blocking. Keep running the rock. If they can't stop the run, why would you? Oh my God, they're out of position too.
He has been terrific here this
Come on, Stidham, get this ball snapped. The middle of the field is easy food. The middle of the field is just easy. You can just you can completely rack up yards here.
It'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I've gone back and forth to both matchups. Yeah, it's a tough one here. Offensively, the edge goes to the Rams. Defensively, the edge goes to Seattle. Both teams have won a game here. Both teams have shown up in the biggest moments and have gotten it done against each other. It feels relatively dead even. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if you go either way. The biggest matchup of the game will be, I know a lot of people want to say the biggest matchup of the game is the Rams, is the Seahawks defense versus the Rams offense. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I get it. Matthew Stafford and those weapons have to be on their A game. Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense, they absolutely have to be on their A game if they're going to win on Sunday. This has to be the best performance Matthew Stafford has put up in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford has to put up his best performance against the Seahawks on Sunday. I get that. I don't deny that. He absolutely has to. I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. But here's my thing. Here's my thing. Matthew Stafford doesn't have to be perfect against the Seahawks defense, and because of what they have, they're still going to find a way to be effective. Matthew Stafford in the second game was crazy, but in that first game, it's not like he was torching them immensely. That first game, he was relatively effective. He was playing well, but they still won because of one key thing. He played well, but it's not like they were just taking over. That's my thing. They didn't just take over. The second game, Matthew Stafford balled out, they lost. The first game was very close, but there was one distinct difference, and that was the Rams defense versus Sam Darnold. And in my opinion, in this game, that's what matters the most. The key matchup to look forward to, or the key matchup to look at in this game that's going to determine who's going to the Super Bowl. The key matchup that will determine who's going to the Super Bowl. Straight up, Sam Darnold versus the Rams defense. Sam Darnold versus the Rams defense. Keep this in mind. The first game of this, the first matchup they had earlier in the season, the Seahawks barely lost to the Rams. But that was a game where Sam Darnold threw 4 picks. If he doesn't turn the ball over at that high of a rate, the Seahawks probably go on to dominate the Rams. In the second matchup, Sam Darnold turned the ball over multiple times. I think he might have even thrown a pick 6 in that game. He was terrible. And yet still, when the defense needed to make plays in certain moments, they did. I'm doing great, man. Hopefully you're doing well as well. But yeah, Seahawks defense, I can trust Seattle's defense for the most part to at least slow down Matthew Stafford. And with Stafford not playing at his best, I can at least feel they're going to do an effective job there. But in my opinion, the game comes down to Sam Darnold versus the Rams defense. If Sam Darnold goes out there and he's seeing ghost against the Rams defense, the game is over. The game is over right there. If Sam Darnold is seeing ghost against the Rams defense, it's over. That's just me. That's what I think about it. The key matchup to determine who's going to the Super Bowl, it all comes down. Oh my God, I got to stop trying to go for picks. I've got to stop trying to go for picks. It's not working. I'm just going to have to blitz him. I keep trying to play zone coverage. You give this man enough time. My secondary keeps making mistakes. I'm going to have to keep blitzing him, and we'll just see what happens, man. We'll just have to keep seeing what happens, man. I think that's just what I got to do. I got to send endless pressure, and we're going to see what happens.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll look to throw here.
If he can react to the pressure, good on him. But we need to dial up some blitzes.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective
This offense in desperate need of a
I'll switch
conversion
the
as they
side
come
in which
up
the
with
blitz is
third
coming
down.
from. It's coming from this. It's gonna come from his left side. Let's see if he
From
recognizes
the gun,
it.
it's May.
He did.
He's got
He did.
his
He
target.
recognized it.
That's
He
complete.
recognized it.
And this is going to be another
That's
first
good on
down as
him
they'll
to
make the
recognize it.
tackle at the Broncos 40. Looking to throw.
Nope, got to him again.
And he's taken down.
Again, that's just what I'm gonna have to do. I gotta keep sending endless pressure. But yeah, the key to this game, the main matchup to look at, guys, Sam Darnold versus the Rams defense. Oh my God, you couldn't even get him down. Sam Darnold versus the Rams defense. That's the key to looking. That's the main focus on this game. Because if Sam Darnold cannot perform against the Rams defense, the Seahawks are not going to the Super Bowl. I'm just letting you guys know this immediately. If Sam Darnold cannot perform against the Rams defense, the Seahawks are not going to the Super Bowl. If Sam Darnold starts turning the ball over against the Rams defense, the Seahawks are not going to the Super Bowl. Seattle's going to do a fair enough job in trying to slow down Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and all those weapons they have on the offense. But I'm letting you know this right now, right off the bat. If Sam Darnold goes out there and starts turning the ball over against the Rams defense, it's going to be a wrap. Now, me personally, I think that's ultimately going to be the case, but I still see a scenario in which they're able to overcome it. They overcame it last time. Keep this in mind. The second game, he turned the ball over multiple times, threw a pick six, and they still won the game. It's very possible that they could do this. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I wouldn't bet on that happening twice, but it's still possible that the Seahawks could win the game and Sam Darnold still plays like trash. They've done it before. They could do it again. With that being said, advantage offensively goes to the Rams. Advantage defensively goes to the Seahawks. I think this is as close to an even matchup as you can get. And with that initially being the case of this being a relatively even matchup, it comes down to the overall feeling of who you're going to trust in these moments. And if you ask me, I'm going to trust Matthew Stafford, the future Hall of Fame quarterback that has a chance to solidify his legacy and potentially become a top 10 quarterback all time. I'm going to put my trust in Matthew Stafford to execute the key situations just like he did last week against Chicago and just like he did the week before against the Panthers. I trust in Matthew Stafford. If the Seahawks defense can bully Stafford, I see a blowout. Well, again, like I said, I know everyone thinks the matchup is the Seahawks defense because of how ferocious they are against the Rams offense. The matchup is the Rams defense against Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold literally holds the keys to he literally holds the keys to the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. He has been awful against the Rams. When he was with Minnesota, in the 2 games he's played against them, he's been awful against the Rams. Keep this in mind. If he turns the ball over multiple times against his Rams defense, Seattle's not going to the Super Bowl. So again, Stafford doesn't have to be perfect, and he doesn't have to even be elite against this Seahawks defense. They just have to be effective enough and trust that their defense is going to be effective against Sam Darnold. And if this defense for the Rams is effective against Sam Darnold, Seattle's not going to the Super Bowl. That's just the fact of the situation because he has not played well against this Rams defense. They seem to understand the strengths and weaknesses of Sam Darnold, and they have been effective enough to be able to get him out of his own rhythm. So if that ends up being the case once again, Seattle's not going to the Super Bowl. Hell, even if the Seattle defense dominates, they could still end up losing this game late if Sam Darnold is not able to execute. So this all comes down to Sam Darnold versus that Rams defense. If he shows up and finally executes against them consistently, they're going to the Super Bowl. If he does not show up, it's over. Ain't nothing else to say. So I'm not even truly focusing on Stafford versus the Seahawks defense. The Rams defense going up against Sam Darnold is everything I need to know about this matchup. Because if that defense is able to once again force turnovers against Sam Darnold, the Seahawks are going home. So this is going to be a tough one. I expect it to be a close game. Both matchups were close. Let's keep this in mind. Both matchups were close. Both matchups were within 2. I think the Rams won the first game by 2, and then the Seahawks won the second game by 1 because they went for 2 in overtime and got the victory. So that's ultimately where my mindset is. It's going to be a close game. Don't expect this to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game. Both teams have showcased they're on each other's level. I don't expect this to be a I don't expect this to be I don't expect this to be a blowout or some sort of crazy game. I definitely expect this to be a competitive game that comes down to the wire. All in all, it comes down to who you trust more, Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford in the biggest moments. And I'm going to trust Matthew Stafford in the biggest moments. If this game is close and it comes down to Matthew Stafford executing with the game on the line, I trust him. I trust Puka Nacua. I trust Devontae Adams. I trust them to make the plays to get the job done. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me personally. If you believe the defense for the Seahawks is so dominant they're going to get it done, by all means, you are free to go with Seattle. But again, the matchup is very close between the two teams. There's not much of a difference in this matchup between both teams. And in my opinion, it comes down to who's ultimately going to be able to make the plays and execute in the biggest moments of the game. I've seen Matthew Stafford do it throughout his entire career. I'm going to put my faith and trust in Matthew Stafford doing it once again to take the team to the Super Bowl. That's just me personally. That's just me personally. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl back in July. My pick is 2 wins away from being 100% accurate. I have not moved off the Rams no matter how things have looked. I have picked the Rams to get to the dance. The Rams are 1 game away from getting to the dance. I also picked them to win, and they are 2 wins away from accomplishing the goal that I set out for them to start this season. And the funny thing about it is I've been relatively correct with my picks, though this has been a tough year to really predict things. So I wasn't sure the Rams were going to be, good enough to get it done. I didn't even know how they would be in the playoffs, but I am happy that my picks have been accurate. It was so much easier when you could just look at Kansas City and say, just write them in the Super Bowl and guarantee it and stuff like that. It was a lot easier, man. Like last year with Kansas City and Philadelphia, it was a lot easier to pick that, or San Francisco and stuff like that. Some of these picks were a lot easier to look at. But then you get years like this where I could definitely say this was a tough year to make predictions about who's going to win. Though, depending on how things go, I can't wait for my predictions next year. My Super Bowl picks next year should be very interesting. But I have to see how the offseason goes.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on.
But yeah, I picked the Rams back in July to go win the Super Bowl. I felt very confident about that pick. I feel no need to move off of that pick. On a screen, guys, really? I feel no need to move off of my pick. I feel no need to move off of my pick. I feel very confident in my pick. I feel very comfortable in my pick. I said the Rams were going to win the championship. I see no reason to move off of the Rams winning the championship. So I'm going to stick with them winning the title. I got no reason to go off of that. I'm going to pick the Los Angeles Rams to take down the Seattle Seahawks and advance to the Super Bowl. They have been the team I have trusted. They have been the team I have put emphasis on this year. They're a team that I believe can get the job done. They have showcased that they have the capability, they have the talent, and they have the overall experience to get this done because they've been here before and they've done it. Matthew Stafford's been here before. He's done it. That's a hold. That was a clear hold, but okay. They've been here before. They've done this. I trust them to do it again. So I'm not even going to be overly concerned with the overall aspect of this. It's going to be a tough physical game. It's going to be a very close game. It's a divisional rival game with the trip to the Super Bowl on the line. I know both teams are going to be ready to go. I'm going to absolutely take the Los Angeles Rams to go and win this game and advance to the Super Bowl. So we'll ultimately see how things go there. I feel very confident in my pick. My pick that I picked way back in July has a chance to go to the Super Bowl, like I said they were going to. And I believe in it. Now, obviously, Seattle's a tough team, and I'm not blind to it because back in like late November, early December, I said the one team that could stop the Rams from making the Super Bowl is the Seattle Seahawks. And that was a big part of why I had the Seahawks and the Rams in the NFC Championship game. I said the NFC Championship game was going to be an NFC West battle. It was clear to me that the NFC West teams were just better than everybody else. And I said it was going to be a battle of the NFC West in the NFC West title game, although I thought the Rams were going to get the #1 seed and the Seahawks were going to be coming into LA. But instead, it's opposite of that, in which the Rams are going into Seattle because Seattle got the #1 seed. Either way, it's like it's supposed to be. It's what I ultimately assumed was going to happen. Not going to be mad at the overall aspect of how things went. So I'm just happy that we got the matchup here, and we're going to have to see how things go, you know.
I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
What? Oh, boy.
Now Stidham. He'll get that complete to Vele.
Good wide receiver screen actually worked. That's the first time I've executed a wide receiver screen. I'm going to go with back-to-back screens because I know they're not going to expect it here. This time to the right side. There it is. Back-to-back screens. I knew they wouldn't expect it. Knew they wouldn't expect it. Back-to-back first downs. So, yeah, I'm taking the Rams in this game. It's a team that I've picked all year long to win the Super Bowl. I don't see a reason for me to move past that. I really don't. I don't see a reason to move past that. They've shown me that they can be trusted. Matthew Stafford has shown me that he can execute in the biggest moments. That's why he is a future Hall of Fame quarterback. And if he can finish the job, get himself a second ring, and potentially win MVP while also getting the ring, he will solidify himself as a top 10 quarterback. You cannot argue that he won't be a top 10 quarterback because Stafford already has the numbers. It's about the accomplishments alongside the numbers. He will have the accomplishments alongside the numbers, because he'll have the monster numbers that he's already put up in his career, plus 2 rings in the MVP potentially. Yeah, that's a top 10 quarterback all time. No matter how you want to look at it. Top 10 quarterback all time.
233 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
But yeah, I trust Matthew Stafford to ultimately get the job done. I trust Puka Nacua to ultimately get the job done. I trust in the LA Rams to get the job done, and I especially trust in that Rams defense to get the best of Sam Darnold, because they have usually gotten the best of Sam Darnold when they have seen him straight up. You see, I keep seeing you guys using your timeouts. That works perfectly for me. I personally don't care if I get in or not. Just use all your timeouts.
But this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Easy money.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams punching it in from a yard.
Been a hell of a matchup here. Love what I've seen. Love what I've seen. Fantastic job here, getting the job done. But I am picking the Rams, ladies and gentlemen. I am picking the Rams to win this game, advance to the Super Bowl, and obviously you don't have to worry about my Super Bowl pick. I said the Rams are going to win the championship. So if the Rams are in the Super Bowl, they're going to win the championship. I'll say it like this. The NFC is winning the title. If the Rams advance to the Super Bowl, they're going to win the chip. If Seattle advances to the Super Bowl, they're going to win the chip. I said this in 2023. The AFC was winning the Super Bowl, be it Kansas City or Baltimore. I'm going to say it right here. I said it last year. The Eagles were going to take it. And I'm here to say in 2025, whoever comes out of the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. That's just how I see it. Rams, Seahawks, don't matter. Whoever comes out of that one is winning the Super Bowl. That's just how I view it. So we'll see how things go there. We'll see how things ultimately end up going for the most part here when it comes to this game. But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a game to come down to the wire. Give me that pick. And we can put this to bed. Spin move. Keep my feet. Yeah. Drake May. Throwing another pick. And honestly, we could just take a knee. We're going to win this and go to the Super Bowl. Speaking of which, we got to talk about that game next. But yeah, my pick is the Rams. Coach wants me to steal. Let's run a screen. You know, I could run something here. There we go.
On the slant, completes to Sutton.
Just want to make sure we could run
for 7
something here.
yards. And now it's 3rd and 4.
In today's football, where receivers break
All right.
tackles, make people
Yeah.
miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here's Stidham to throw.
Easy. Come on. He didn't get the first down.
And he'll be out of
He did not
bounds,
get the
able to
first
get it
down.
to the 25 there.
All right, we can put this to bed. I'm going to get Stidham with the quarterback sneak to win this game. Sneak it. First down, that's game.
And they will touch him
All
down
right.
before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed.
We can call a game here. All righty. So that is my pick here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. That is my pick for the NFC. I've got the Los Angeles Rams beating the Seattle Seahawks and advancing to the Super Bowl. As you can see, I just played the Denver Broncos, and I went up against the New England Patriots, and I played with Jarrett Stidham. I felt like that was the most realistic approach I can put here, specifically because, well, Jarrett Stidham's going to be playing. And crazy enough, man, I'm not going to lie, I didn't do too much with Stidham, man. 24-31, 292, completed 77% of my passes, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Somehow Drake May nearly had a passer rating that was close. I mean, again, Drake May was still doing his thing. I mean, dude was just cooking. But what really got it done for me was what I'm hoping the Broncos can do. I mean, they're not getting this type of running. But like, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. We are going to get into that in just a second. But my NFC pick is the Los Angeles Rams. I believe the Rams are going to get this done. They've been my pick since July. I'm not backing down. The Rams are ready for the moment. Stafford is ready to solidify himself potentially as a top 10 quarterback all time, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. So hopefully, these guys are ready to get things going. Because if they're not ready to get things going, it's going to be what it is. You know? Whatever happens, happens. If they're ready for prime time, be ready for prime time. That's all I got to say. If they're ready for prime time, be ready for prime time. But I am picking the Rams to beat the Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League.
With that being said, it's time to switch over. I played an AFC championship game while talking about the NFC title game. I'm going to play the NFC championship game while talking about the AFC title. And unlike the other game, Rams get ball first. Dang it. Not what I wanted, but you know what, Matthew Stafford? If you're correct, Mike McDonald will be a conference championship choker. I don't know about that. It's not his fault that the offense scored 10 points. His defense held Mahomes to 17. I mean, if your offense can't score more than 17 points when you hold Mahomes to 17, then that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, if you legitimately can't score, if your defense holds Mahomes to 17 points and you can't do nothing with that, I can't help you. That ain't got nothing to do with that man's defense. That man's defense showed up in the AFC Championship game. That ain't got nothing to do with him. At the end of the day, his defense showed up. I don't know where our offense was that day. Go look at Todd Monken. Oh, so we're doing this crap today. Okay, that's cool. It don't matter. I could have thrown that. But I wanted to get Stafford's legs going today just to let them know I will be running with Matthew Stafford today. Do not think I'm about to just sit back in the pocket all day with Stafford. A Super Bowl berth's on the line. What's going on, Chaos? Speaking of which, since we just covered the NFC Championship game while playing the AFC Championship game, now we're going to cover the AFC Championship game while playing the NFC Championship game. So here we go. We have the Denver Broncos hosting the New England Patriots in a game that everybody expects to be a blowout. A game everybody expects to be domination. A game where everybody has full belief and faith in the New England Patriots getting it done. The reasons for this, it's very simple. Tragedy. Tragedy struck the Denver Broncos shortly after winning the biggest game they've won since Super Bowl 50. I mean, how can you be in a situation like that? I feel for them. You just got the biggest win you've had since Super Bowl 50, the biggest win you've had in over a decade. And the first news you get is that your franchise quarterback will not be playing in the title game. Like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Biggest game, biggest win that you just got. And all of a sudden, your franchise quarterback is out for the championship game because of an ankle injury that he suffered, a broken bone in his ankle that he suffers 2 plays before you kick the game-winning field goal. I mean, how do you react to that? Realistically, how are you supposed to feel if you're a Broncos fan? How are you supposed to react to that? Like, I would love to know how Broncos fans felt after hearing that news. Because how do you react to something like that? I don't know how you react to that, dude. I really don't know. So everybody knows because Bo Nix is not here, and you got Jarrett Stidham starting at quarterback. Everybody knows the expectations have now dramatically dropped for the Broncos, and it has dramatically raised for the New England Patriots. Strictly because one has their franchise quarterback still healthy, the other will not have their franchise quarterback. To make matters worse, the quarterback that is going to be playing on Sunday, has not thrown a pass in 2 years. He has not thrown a pass in the league in 2 years. Why can't Bo Nix just rub some dirt on it? Buddy, it's a broken bone. I really wish he could. I really wish he could pull a Phillip Rivers and play in the game. You remember when Phillip Rivers tore his ACL and played in the... Yeah, remember when he tore his ACL and played in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots? I would have loved if that would have been the case, but, you know, there's nothing you can do about it, man. He's got a broken foot. He can't even stand. He was limping off the field. He was still feeling the adrenaline, so he didn't feel the pain. But he's already got surgery now. It's all the recovery process. Bo Nix will probably be there on Sunday to cheer his team on, if it's possible for him to be on the sideline at this point. I don't know. But for the most part, yeah, I am playing Madden 25. I am playing Madden 25 right now. So, yeah, I'm just playing Madden 25 right now. That's just what I'm doing. But, yeah. AFC Championship game. Broken foot is nothing you can play on. No, you can't. Guys, I know we like to say these things because, you know, we want to talk about toughness. But, dude, you guys do realize these are human beings, right? Like, we just can't make the assumption that these human beings can just play off. Can you function off a broken foot? Like, let's be real, man. It's funny, but realistically, if there's no way in hell. Nah, bro, he was not getting away with that. I had to knock that away. There's no way he's going to get that wide open. He chucks up nonsense and gets a huge play. That would have been BS. Broncos should have signed Ryan Tannehill. Not great, but better than Jarrett Stidham. The reason why they didn't go with anybody like that is because, dude, it would have been cool to be like, oh, yeah, go get Ryan Tannehill, go get a guy. Even I was saying it last week. Go get somebody. But realistically, there's no guy that they can bring in because you're asking them to bring in a guy that's going to learn their offense in less than 6 days to go play a championship game. There's nothing you can do with that, man. At the end of the day, you just got to deal with the circumstances you're in. There's literally nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. You have to play Stidham. The only thing they could do was go and get another quarterback to be the backup in case something happens to Stidham in the championship game. But realistically, Stidham was going to play the second Bo Nix went down because he knows the offense. And you don't have to switch your offensive scheme to try to pander to somebody else. You're just going to tell Stidham to run the offense as best as you can. So, you know, it's not fun, but it is the situation that they find themselves in. Ooh, you hope to never find yourself in this situation, but this is ultimately what they've got to deal with. So, man, just pray for them boys, man. That's all I got to say. Just pray for them. That should have been picked.
Knocked away. It's incomplete. Kyron Williams, the
Excuse me.
intended receiver
I should have
there,
been picked right there.
and it'll be third down.
That's a dangerous throw. I had no business making that type of throw in that situation. Pressure's coming.
Throw. Stafford.
Stafford frees the defense. Throw it on a dime, on a roll. Keep your feet. First down.
And he's out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, out inside.
This is beautiful execution here. Beautiful execution right now. Just execute the offense. Execute the off. Oh, God.
Williams.
That defense was ready for the run. But okay. Enough stalling. Let's get into this conversation, man. Stidham's going to throw 3 picks by the first quarter. Now that they execute the offense the way they should with Stidham, which I'm going to get into. And I'm sure Sean Payton has already told Stidham what he needs to do in terms of executing. But here's how things are going to have to go. So let's talk about this game. Patriots, Broncos, NFC Championship game in Denver. Oh, whoa. This is 3rd and 7? Oh, nah. I didn't realize that. Oh, my God. I gotta go with this.
The motion man is Nakua.
Come on. Outside throw. Caught it, but he's short. Again, I got Matthew Stafford, and I got this offense. I'll take my chances versus Seattle's defense. I'm cool with that. And again, I trust in it. Stafford. First and goal. I could have just checked the ball down, but I didn't see Kyron Williams turn around. I didn't want to take a chance. And, yeah, the crowd noise is definitely affecting things, man. My goodness. Here's Parkinson. Come on. Step forward. There you go. Touchdown. But, all right, let's get into this. Patriots, Broncos, AFC Championship game in Denver. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. How do we take a look at this? Well, let's start with the advantages. Who has the advantage here? Offensively? Do I have to say it? Offensively, the advantage goes to the Denver Broncos. I'm kidding. Obviously, the advantage goes to the Denver Broncos. Do you not know who Jarrett Stidham is? He's that guy. He's going to lead them to the promised land. He's going to pull Nick. I'm kidding. The advantage goes to the New England Patriots. Okay, the New England Patriots get the advantage here. They have their franchise quarterback there. Drake May is in the MVP conversation. There's a strong chance he wins it. It's gonna come down to him or Stafford. There's a strong chance that Drake May is winning MVP. I don't know if he's going to, but there's a strong chance he's going to win MVP. So again, a guy that is an MVP finalist that could win the MVP this year. You're not gonna sit back and talk about him and his offense not being great. Drake May's had a fantastic year. He's definitely worthy of being an MVP candidate based off of how he performed this year compared to the other quarterbacks. He's definitely in that conversation. You don't have to like it, but he's definitely in that conversation. Don't think he's going to get it, but he's certainly in that conversation. God dang it, JSN. But yeah, the Patriots. Aren't the Patriots still on the winning streak? When's the last time? The Patriots have won, 14 straight games? Because I think they won 12 straight games to end the season. You know what? That's a good thing for me to check. Let me pause the game for a second. When's the last time the New England Patriots have lost a football game? The last time they lost was to the Buffalo Bills. But I don't remember when that matchup happened. Because they beat them the first time, but the second time. They're either on a huge winning streak, which includes the playoffs, or they're 12-1 or 14-1 in their last 15 games or something like that. Let me see something here. Let's take a look at their schedule here in terms of how they played in the regular season. Oh my God, there we go. ESPN. Come on, ESPN, but ESPN. Okay. Yeah, okay, well, no. Look at this. They are on, oh no, let me see, Raiders, Steelers. It's other than that Bills game. So honestly, after the Steelers game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They went 13-1 after losing to the Steelers. The only loss was that choking performance they put up against the Buffalo Bills. They won their 2 playoff games, so they are 15-1 in their last 16 games. New England is 15-1 in their last 16 games. Offensively, they've been fantastic. They've got an MVP candidate, an MVP finalist as their quarterback. Offensively, the edge goes to the Patriots. There's nothing else that needs to be said here. Offensively, the edge goes to the Patriots. And even with Bo Nix, I still feel you would lean towards the Patriots offense. Overall, when it comes to trusting, who do you trust more as a quarterback, Drake May or Bo Nix? You trust Drake May over Bo Nix. So even if Bo Nix was here, the advantage was still going to the Patriots. Bo Nix and that offense have been great, but they've been great at times, but they've been streaky. The Patriots offense has been a lot more consistent, and the quarterback play from Drake May has been more consistent than the quarterback play from Bo Nix. Bo Nix had a great year, don't get me wrong, but in terms of consistency with the quarterback play, Drake May has been a more consistent quarterback this year than Bo Nix. That's why Drake May is in the MVP conversation. That's why he has a strong chance to win it over Matthew Stafford. So New England has the advantage here offensively. Defensively, it's very close. Defensively, it's incredibly close, but the edge goes to the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have one of the best defenses in football. This is a defense that led the league. Oh, that's a pick! What are you doing? Easy money, that's a pick! The defense of the Denver Broncos led the league in sacks. They were one of the best teams at getting to the quarterbacks. They were one of the best teams in stopping. They were one of the best pass defenses as well because they were good at stopping people through. They were good at coverage. They were great at coverage, and they were great at frustrating the quarterback. I think they actually had the best defense when it comes to holding quarterbacks to the lowest passer rating. I would have to fact check that as well. But these guys have a fantastic defense. The Broncos' defense has been fantastic this year. Now, last week against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, that defense did not shine the way they should have. But at the same time, that's Josh Allen, that's the Buffalo Bills. It's to be expected, which is why Josh is a member of the Elite Four for a reason. Because, again, when you got a member of the Elite Four, you usually expect them to be able to pull off performances like that. That's usually that's usually the case, unless it's a divisional rival. Because with Mahomes and the Chiefs, divisional rival, things end up becoming a lot tougher there. So all of a sudden, the expectation is a little bit different because it is a divisional rival. That's why you'll see Lamar decimate most defenses, but there'll be at times he and the offense struggle against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully, that won't be something that continues moving forward. But that's a different conversation for a different day. Let's see what Jesse Minter can put together. But hopefully, we won't be seeing those struggles moving forward. Yeah, I use an Apple phone as well. Congrats on getting the new phone, but I use an Apple phone as well. But yeah, when you got one of the elite, that's usually the case. Broncos had a great defense last year, and I watched Lamar carve that defense up. Take me back to 2024. But yeah, I watched Lamar carve that. When Denver came to Baltimore, I watched Lamar carve that Broncos defense up, and they were the best defense in football when they came to Baltimore last year. When you just got an elite quarterback, he's just going to do numbers. That's why Josh Allen, despite the four turnovers, was still able to put up 30 points of offense against the Broncos' elite defense because he's still a member of the Elite Four. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and even when he makes mistakes, he will be able to rectify that by still executing and making plays. And again, if he would have been able to hit a wide-open Knox, if he would have been able to hit a wide-open Dawson Knox, the Bills would be in the AFC Championship game, and they'd be in New England right now. But, it is what it is. Bills fired Sean McDermott. They're looking to make some changes, too. Let's see how things go there. But, yeah, Denver's defense last week was not exactly a high-level brilliant performance. But, again, you're going up against Josh Allen. It's understandable. You won't be going up against a Josh Allen this week. You are taking on Drake May in this offense, which, again, Drake May has had a good year. Drake May has been highly effective. Back of the end zone. Drake May has been able to execute in damn near every game.
This defense
Every
continuing
game.
to give up points Greg, you've been on offenses like this. This has to feel great when you're on a roll like this.
And it's really twofold, Mike.
They've
First
been
and
able to
foremost,
execute
just like you said,
in every
offense in the
game,
league
man.
works all week. We want to start out fast. We want to establish some early rhythm and play our style of game. They've certainly done that.
Been able
Now,
to
on the
execute
flip side,
every game,
what
bro.
does it do to your opponent? It
And
takes them
that's what
completely
makes
out of
him
their
an
game
MVP
plan,
5
knowing
years
this
because
early
he's
in
been
the
able to
game,
answer the call
they're
time and
chasing
time again,
points.
no matter what the circumstances been. So you give Drake May his due. You give Drake May his credit.
Is good. And the Rams will stake themselves to a 21-0 lead.
Dude, that same Broncos defense got cooked by Trevor Lawrence and Jaguars at home. Jaguars won 13 games this year, and they were a good team. Why are you making it seem like the Jaguars were a bad team? The Jaguars were a good team this year. They won 13 games. A 13-win. They were a 13-win team. Why are we making it seem like they were a bad team? The Jacksonville Jaguars had a great offense this year. It was a career year for Trevor Lawrence. They had a great offense and a highly effective defense and won 13 games. Why are we making it seem like the Jacksonville Jaguars are trash? The Buffalo Bills were able to put up 35 points against the Patriots, and the Jaguars were able to put up. They were effective against the Bills. It just came down to Josh Allen with his late game theatrics and being able to come up clutch. But it's not like the Jacksonville Jaguars played poorly against Buffalo. The Patriots have had their troubles with Buffalo, and the Broncos beat the Bills. And again, the Bills won against the Jaguars, but you know, it was a game that came down to the wire. Trevor Lawrence was amazing this year. He deserves a better ending. Well, tell him not to throw a pick with the game on the line. That was such a routine pick. Everybody expected that to happen. But my thing about it is he said it like, man, that Broncos defense got cooked by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars at home. Yeah, the Jaguars won 13 games this year. They won their division and won 13 games. You make it seem like they were going up against scrubs. This isn't a 6-win Jaguars team or a 4-win Jaguars team that they lost to. Dude, they lost to a 13-win football team that had a chance to also compete for the #1 seed. Why are we making another pick? Look at that. Why are we making it seem like the Jaguars were trash? They weren't. The Jaguars were a great football team this year. They ran into Josh Allen. Denver nearly fell by Josh Allen. And the Patriots lost to Josh Allen in the regular season. It's an elite quarterback. It happens. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, they were a great football team this year. Liam Cohen took that team to great heights. 13 wins here. Yeah, they didn't win the playoff game. You know, Trevor Lawrence decided to be a turnover machine there, but they still played well. Oh, come on, bro. He's chasing me down. Who is that? Kyron, where is the speed, my guy? You can't be getting chased down like this. What am I supposed to do with that? That was awful. Cut it back, cut it back. Where is the speed by this dude? Kyron, please. Oh, my goodness. Drake May hasn't been good this playoffs. Dude, I'm going to be honest. I don't think any of these quarterbacks have been good this playoffs. Name me the quarterback that's been good these playoffs for the most part. Like entering the championship game, Drake May has not been good in the playoffs. Okay. Matthew Stafford has not been good in the playoffs. Sam Darnold's one performance, he was decent, but it was the defense that dominated the Niners. He didn't have anything to do with it. He was okay, but he wasn't great. And Bo Nix, he was pretty damn good against the Bills, but he's not playing on Sunday because of his broken ankle. So how many of this? Let's go back to the wild card round. Keep this in mind. 4 of the 8 teams, excuse me. 4 of the 8 teams that advanced to the divisional round. 4 of the 8 teams that advanced to the divisional round. Their quarterbacks turned the ball over multiple times, and they won. Not Bo Nix. C.J. Stroud turned the ball over multiple times against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won the playoff game. Against the Chargers, Drake May turned the ball over multiple times. They won the game. Caleb Williams turned the ball over multiple times. They won the game. Who else turned the ball over multiple times? There was one more quarterback. Brock Purdy against the Philadelphia Eagles turned the ball over multiple times. They won the game. 4 quarterbacks. 4 quarterbacks turned the ball over multiple times. Their team still won the game. Then in the divisional round, multiple turnovers. In the divisional round, it wasn't like he turned the ball over, but it wasn't a great game for Matthew Stafford. Everybody knew it wasn't a great game for Matthew Stafford. They still won the game. Drake May, again, turned the ball over multiple times against Houston. Didn't play well. He made some throws here and there, but didn't play well. But because C.J. Stroud decided to be the worst quarterback in playoff history, the Patriots go on to the AFC title game. Bo Nix played pretty damn good. Not great, but pretty damn good. But he's not playing in the championship game because he suffered an injury. And then Sam Darnold was all right. We already know if Lamar had those numbers, it'd be the same conversation they have with him. Even if he has great numbers, people don't care. He's not going to be able to live down the Greg Roman numbers until he wins a Super Bowl. That's just the fact of the matter. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, he can't live down those Greg Roman numbers. Okay, that's fun. And we don't got anybody to chase this man down. And there's the first touchdown. I've been dominating this first half, and then we give up a touchdown there. Whatever. It was bound to happen. But back to this matchup here. Offensively, the advantage goes to the New England Patriots with Drake May in that offense that's been effective and has answered the call in every single possible moment this season. Other than like early on in the year when they lost the Raiders, which again, no one understands how they lost that game, but it was early on. They were trying to figure things out. And then they lost to the Steelers. Still don't know how they lost that game, but again, they were trying to figure things out. And then the choking performance against the Bills, that's one they just had to deal with, and they had to learn from that experience. So other than that, they've had their blunders here and there, but they've been a great offense. They've been a great team this year. They obviously have the advantage heading into the championship game since they have their quarterback and the Broncos don't. Defensively, like I said, the Broncos led the league in sacks. They were one of the best defenses in football this year. If they didn't, I think Houston beat them out for the best defense in the league. I think Houston beat them out, but they are definitely a top 5 defense, if not a top 3 defense. Like I said, they led the league in sacks. They were such an aggressive defense, have one of the best secondaries, or at least one of the most effective secondaries in the league. The Broncos defense did everything they needed to do. They've been getting it done this year, and they've had to heavily lean on their defense to execute because there's been times where Bo Nix and that offense has just gone dry. And if it wasn't for that defense executing the way they did in some of these games, then they don't win. They don't win the amount of games they do, and they don't get the number 1 seed for sure if it wasn't for a lot of those moments. So, yeah, shout out to the defense because they're going to need to show up huge in this game. They're absolutely going to need to show up. How do you think the Chiefs finna do next year? I don't know. They got Eric Bieniemy back, so you hope that brings back the offense, which is really funny to see them get Eric Bieniemy back because I was told that Eric Bieniemy doesn't really do much. It's Andy Reid's offense, and Andy Reid's the one calling the plays. So Eric Bieniemy's not really the mastermind of the offense. It's really Andy Reid. And then Eric Bieniemy goes, and their offense takes a huge, and I mean an absolute huge plummet. You got to catch that, dude. So I was told Eric Bieniemy wasn't really the mastermind behind that offense. It was Andy Reid. Then all stinks, but I thought Andy Reid was the mastermind. So why do you need Eric Bieniemy back? I'm just asking questions. You know, we're in a moment, a time where we can ask questions. How did he keep his feet? How did he keep his feet? Oh my God, how did he keep his feet? That was beautiful. How did he keep his feet? I thought I was going out of bounds. That was beautiful. What a touchdown. This is complete domination. This won't happen on Sunday. The Rams are not going to dominate the Seahawks. But yeah, I'm just dominating them here right now. But yeah, the Chiefs, again, they got Bieniemy back, so hopefully that's going to help improve the offensive play calling. They need to get Patrick Mahomes another offensive weapon. I'm sorry, bro. That offense is not good. They need to get him another weapon, a pass catcher that they can rely on. The belief, we heard the reports in regards to Tyreek Hill. The belief is that the Dolphins are going to release Tyreek Hill. And if Tyreek Hill ends up getting released, I don't see why he doesn't go back to Kansas City to reunite with Mahomes and Kelsey, because Kelsey might play another year. It seems like there's a strong chance he plays another year, specifically because he doesn't want to leave things off the way it left. So, you know, there's a very strong chance that Kelsey plays another year just to see if they can finish things off the way they left it. I think there's a very strong chance. Not saying it's going to happen, but there's a very strong chance. Very, very strong chance. So, yeah, defense, I think the defense at times, they didn't execute the way they wanted to defensively. So, I think for the most part, they got to get back to execute. The defense they had in 23 and 24 was good enough to get them. It was good enough to help them win the Super Bowl, and it was good enough to get them to the Super Bowl in 2024. So that defense does have to return to form in some cases. And then offensively, you got to get Mahomes another weapon. You got to give him another weapon for sure. Get Mahomes another weapon, and then hope the enemy scheme is going to help them execute. That's what matters the most. They've got to be able to execute whatever offensive scheme. They have to be able to execute whatever offensive scheme the enemy comes up with. So that's the most important part of all of this. So hopefully they'll be able to do that. Hopefully they'll be able to do that, but I don't know what Kansas City is going to do next year. If Mahomes comes back healthy from the torn ACL, you expect him to still be the same guy he's always been. And if they can get him another weapon, if they can retool that offensive line, if they can get the return to form on defense, and if they can get the same level of effective play calling they were getting when Bieniemy was here, Kansas City could return to form and be that team to try to take over the AFC once again and reclaim their throne. But I don't know what Kansas City is going to be. They have a lot of work to do. They were not a good football team this year. And we got blown out against that team. That should tell you how bad Baltimore was last year. And yet people want to tell me they don't need Jesse Minter. Go look at what Jesse Minter's defense. The Chargers fans will tell you straight up. Go look at what Jesse Minter's defense did against Patrick Mahomes in 2024 and 2025. Go look at what Jesse Minter's defense did against Mahomes. And you'll have a clear understanding. Matter of fact, I got it written somewhere. I know for a fact I've got it written somewhere. What the? I thought it was to the other guy. That's nasty. Matter of fact, let me see if I got it.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
To throw, here's Smith.
Oh, I picked him! Oh my God! King Davis take it to the house! Big man! Big man! Big man! Oh, DK Metcalf! No! Not DK! Oh! What a play call! What a play call! Got in his face, bounced up. That's crazy luck. I'm so glad. Nah, we got to do an instant replay. We got to do an instant replay. That's one of the craziest moments I've ever had with Madden. I've recorded some of this, but man, I've never had this type of moment before live. This is why you got to do live streams sometimes, man. What happened here? Let me zoom into this area here, because it looks like the ball, he got hit. So he got hit as he threw it. The ball, oh my God, it hit the helmet of a Rams defender that's down. Because he got hit, the ball bounced off of a defender that was on the floor, so it never hit the floor. Then it bounced off of the shoulder of number 90, and then he, with his awareness, picks it off. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. This is the type of wackiness we saw in the regular season when the Seahawks and Rams met up that second matchup in Seattle. This is the type of craziness that we saw with that 2-point conversion. Literally brought pressure. He gets hit as he's throwing it, bounces off the helmet of one Rams defender, bounces off the elbow of another Rams defender, and that same defender has the awareness to turn and pick it off. And I promise you he's going to take it to the house, but DK Metcalf is a demon, and we can't stop him. So only DK Metcalf was going to catch him. That is insanity. That is the greatest interception I've ever had. Greatest interception. I cannot believe that just happened. You never get those type of picks. You never get those type of picks. That was absolutely insane. But the Chiefs weren't great. They were not a great football team, and yet everybody was beating the Chiefs except us. Philly beat the Chiefs. The Cowboys beat the Chiefs. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Chiefs. The Bills always beat the Chiefs, but in the regular season. But they beat the Chiefs. Everybody was beating the Chiefs except us. We got blown out by Kansas City. And yet you're telling me you don't want to fix this defense. Jesse Minter's defense has played against Patrick Mahomes 4 times, obviously, the last 2 years. Because he came there in 2024. He turned them from a bottom 10 defense to a top 10 defense. Here's Patrick Mahomes' numbers in 4 games against them. First of all, the Chiefs have a 2-2 record. Kansas City has a 2-2 record against the Chargers since Minter has been there as a defensive guy. Now, of course, the offense has to show up, and I can't speak for what Greg Roman's offense has done against against the Chiefs defense. I can't speak on that.
They'll try to run it with Williams.
God, my defense could not make a stop at all.
Third down stop, Mike, now changes the entire approach of this offense. You're thinking to yourself, all right, it's third down. Let's run it on up in there.
I'm still good. Why? Because they're not going to expect Stafford to get out the pocket.
And he will take this one across into the end.
Yeah, that was definitely a Buda Baker type of play.
Stafford. Touchdown,
But yeah,
Los Angeles.
you guys talk about Jesse Minter. I want an offensive minded head coach. That's great and all, but our defense can't do a damn thing against Patrick Mahomes. This is what Patrick Mahomes done in 4 games. Jesse Minter's defense with the Chargers in 4 games against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Patrick Mahomes, he's 83 of 133, so that's 62% completion. So in the 4 games combined, 62% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a passer rating of 82. His offense in those 4 games scored scored 17, 19, 21, and 16. So his offense is averaging in the 4 games. Mahomes' offense averaged about 17 and a half, so close to 18 points per game in 4 games against the Chiefs, where Mahomes has 3 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, a passer rating of 82, and a 62% completion percentage. That's what Jesse Minter's defense has done. The most Patrick Mahomes' offense has scored against Minter's defense, the most they scored was 21 points.
Again, they will try for 2. This time, it comes from the 7-yard line. Stafford now.
So I just want to let you know how things were going in that department. Minter's defense holding Mahomes to about 17 and a half points a game. 62% completion, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a passer rating of 82. We literally can't do anything against Patrick Mahomes. Jesse Minter's defense has been highly effective against him. And the only time our defense was effective against Patrick Mahomes was 2023 in the AFC title game, where McDonald's defense held Patrick Mahomes to 17 points in the championship game. But you guys are mad about Minter because Lamar doesn't get an offensive-minded coach.
They'll begin with first
Okay.
and 10.
Those same people that are crying about Lamar not getting an offensive-minded coach will be the same people that cry and complain about how the defense can't hold up their end of their bargain and how Lamar keeps being clutch and the defense sells him. So you've watched the last 2 years Lamar Jackson be clutch in the biggest moments just for the defense to sell him. You watched over the last 2 years the defense choke away huge leads, and you don't think we should get one of the best defensive minds to come and fix this defense so that we don't keep getting humiliated by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, I'm just asking the questions here. I'm just asking the questions because Minter's defense has answered the call against the Chiefs, and that's a divisional rival, and they don't have the level of talent we have from a defensive standpoint. But you guys wanted the offensive-minded guy so Lamar can have that and just throw anybody randomly at defensive coordinator. All right, just teach his own. Like I said, if they would have got Clint Kubiak, I'm all for it. If you get Jesse Minter, I'm all for it. That was my mindset. Get the best possible candidate based off of what you want. They wanted to fix this defense up. They got Jesse Minter because they want to bring this defense back to form. And I understand the frustration with the aspect of not giving Lamar an offensive-minded head coach so he can have that offensive mind to work with for the second half of his career. But I would prefer a situation where Lamar Jackson can step foot on the field and know he has to score 21 points on Sundays to win football games. I would also like to have a defense that can create turnovers in the playoffs. And just to put this out here, Jesse Minter's defense, in 2 playoff games, they have created 5 turnovers. I just want to throw this out here. In 2 playoff games, Jesse Minter's defense has created 5 turnovers. But you don't want that to make Lamar's job easier so that he doesn't have to score 40 to win football games. I understand investing in Lamar Jackson, and I want them to invest in Lamar Jackson. But I'd prefer if they invest in Lamar Jackson via talent. Get him the players. This defense needs to be fixed in now. Because if we can, the best year that we've had in the Lamar Jackson era, the closest we've been to getting that illustrious Super Bowl is 2023. And we got to the AFC Championship game. McDonald's defense held Mahomes to 17 points, 0 second half points scored. The opportunity was there. We didn't get it done. I want this defense to return to form. If we can have a top-tier defense with the way Lamar and Derrick Henry are playing together, we're not going to lose. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Anyway, back to what I was talking about here. Defensively, Broncos have the edge. It's very close between the two teams. Obviously, the Patriots have a fantastic defense as well. I think it's immensely close. But I will give the overall edge to the Denver Broncos. Again, this is a defense that led the league in sacks. They were one of the best defenses from top to bottom. When you take a look at the numbers from top to bottom, they were at the top of the league in damn near everything. This is a highly elite defense. I fully trust and believe in them being able to get the job done on Sundays, because that's what they do. So in this matchup, they have the edge. So once again, we have a situation just like Seattle and LA, where one side has the advantage offensively and the other side has the advantage defensively. Now, with the Seahawks and Rams, I said the most important matchup was Sam Darnold versus the Rams defense, specifically because Sam Darnold has struggled against the Rams defense. He's turned the ball over multiple times every time he's played against the Rams defense. In this situation, it's kind of a bit of a different, scope of things. I don't even know where to begin with the game plan for Jarrett Stidham. So I won't want to sit back and say that's the most important aspect here. In my opinion, I don't know how that side of the ball is gonna go, but in my opinion, this game for the Denver Broncos is all about the defense. So in my personal opinion, the most important matchup in this game is the Broncos defense. Wow, that's a terrible defensive. Wow, defense is collapsing right now. My main matchup here is the Broncos defense versus the Patriots offense. Listen, Broncos, you know it's up to your defense. You know it's all on you. Here's the game plan for Jarrett Stidham. Run the ball. You need to play the game manager role. Run the ball. Don't put the ball in danger. Quick, easy throws. Utilize your weapons. Utilize Sutton a lot in this game. Quick throws for Jarrett Stidham. Run the ball effectively. Now, it's going to be tough. Obviously, they lost J.K. Dobbins. Now, we heard conversations that it may be potentially possible that J.K. Dobbins could potentially return. I'm not buying that, but it's possible. But, well, they're just going to have to go with whatever they got to go with. What's the biggest thing you would sacrifice for Lamar to get a ring? My channel. This keeping the real channel, I'll sacrifice that. I'm not going to sacrifice anything in my personal life. I'll sacrifice my YouTube channel for Lamar to get a ring. That's just what I would do. I would sacrifice my YouTube channel to watch Lamar get a ring. That's just what I would personally do.
Here's a screen set up to Williams. And
Hey, really?
Very close to the first down, but an eyeball, he is shy of it. And they say it's
I still think I can get it. So yeah, the biggest thing I'd sacrifice is my YouTube channel. 8 years down the drain for Lamar to get a ring, and I'm all for it. They blitzed me immediately. I can't do nothing about that. I was trying to throw it to the back. That was a good one by them. So yeah, the biggest thing I would give up is my channel. Rams versus Denver. That's my Super Bowl pick. So again, let's get into this. Offensively, the Patriots have the advantage. Defensively, the Broncos have the advantage. JK's officially been ruled out. Yeah, like I said, they talked about an outside chance that he could play. I didn't buy into it, so I didn't even include J.K. Dobbins in my assessment. So, yeah, defense, advantage goes to the Broncos. Offense, advantage goes to the Patriots. So this is a strength on strength. The biggest matchup in this game, the key matchup in this game, the most important matchup in this game is going to be the Broncos defense versus the Patriots offense. If the Broncos are going to get to the Super Bowl, it's going to have to be on the back of their defense. Jarrett Stidham, the game plan is as simple as possible. You are here to run. You are here to be Trent Dilfer. You are here to be Trent Dilfer. I don't need you to go and outperform everybody else. You are here to be Trent Dilfer. Here's what I need you to do. Stidham, hand the ball off. Run the ball. Don't turn the ball over. So I don't need you to force passes down the field and get picked off. Don't turn the ball over. Hand the ball off about 35 times because they're 30 to 35 times. Let's say 30 times because you're not handing it to just one back. You're going to want to run the ball effectively. Run the ball effectively is number 1. Number 2, protect the football at all costs, Jarrett Stidham. Number 3, initiate the short pass gaming. Keep things short, sweet, and simple. I trust that Sean Payton has a game plan. I trust that Sean Payton has a game plan to make things as simplistic as possible for Jarrett Stidham. You don't have to overcomplicate things. You don't have to run the same offense. Obviously, you're going to keep the game book relatively similar, but you're not going to run the exact same offense that you would run with a Bo Nix. So again, you keep things simple, you keep things sweet, you keep things easy for Jarrett Stidham. Run the football. I need you to run the football. I need some screens. Give me some running back screens. Give me some wide receiver screens. I need some checkdowns in this offense for Jarrett Stidham. You need to play the Trent Dilfer role, my guy. All I'm going to need from you is simple, quick, easy throws. If it's not there, you can throw the ball away. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Don't put the football in harm's way. If Jarrett Stidham turns this ball over, they've got no shot to beat the Patriots. If Jarrett Stidham can play the role of a smart game manager, the Broncos have a shot to make the Super Bowl. Now, on the flip side, defense, it's all on you. You don't have Bo Nix's ability to create crazy plays and crazy throws at times. You don't got a Bo Nix here. Jarrett Stidham's not Bo Nix. We already know that. So you have to be smart here. If you are the Denver Broncos, your defense has to be ferocious. You must, and I mean you must, get to Bo Nix. Don't be like, oh, if you can get to Bo Nix, that'd be cool. You must get to Bo Nix. There's no excuse. This defense has to get to Bo Nix, and they have to get to Bo Nix on multiple occasions. They've got to get to Bo Nix on multiple occasions. They've got to make stops on third down situations. They have got to force turnovers. Turnovers, sacks, third down stops. Those are the 3 things the Broncos defense needs to have if they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. Because they don't have a reliance on their quarterback, which again, they weren't relying on Bo Nix to win games. They were winning games despite of Bo Nix at times and that offense. Keep in mind, the Broncos offense has not been great. They've been very inconsistent at times. They've had good moments. They've had even great moments, but they've been inconsistent. People have argued that the Broncos could still win games even if Bo Nix is not in the lineup. So now's the time to prove it. For the Patriots, it's simple. Play great defense the way you've been doing pretty much all year. Run the football effectively with Stevenson, and let and let Drake May be Drake May. Drake May has made a lot of incredible throws this year. Now, he has not played well in the playoffs, but Drake May has had 1 or 2 great throws. He has had 1 or 2 great throws that he's been able to showcase in each playoff game. Against the Texans, he had 1 great throw. We saw that throw. It was against Stingley. He threw that to Booty, who caught it in the end zone with the one hand. That was a great play right there. Against the Chargers, I think it was an open throw, but it was still a great throw in that situation because I think pressure was coming. So again, Drake May is going to execute. Drake May is going to have some great moments here, and he's going to make 1 or 2 great throws in the game. You have to eat it if you're the Denver Broncos. As for the Patriots, you know when it comes to those 1 or 2 great plays from Drake May, you've got to maximize it. You got to execute on those plays. You got to maximize it. So we're going to see if the Patriots offense can maximize the opportunities that Drake May gives them. I fully believe they're going to be able to. That's why they're in this position, which is why if you're the Denver Broncos, you cannot give them a lot of opportunities to execute on big plays.
Working out of the gun, Smith.
How do we miss that? How did he get that throw over everybody? Come on, guys. What is the Rams defense doing? Why are we folding here? Oh, my God. We folding.
On first down is Smith.
But yeah, offensively, the advantage goes to the Patriots. Defensively, the advantage goes to the Denver Broncos. The key matchup here is the Broncos defense versus the Patriots offense. The winner of that matchup is going to take their team to the Super Bowl. So it comes down to that. As for the Broncos offense, again, they're going to have to run the ball effectively. And then Jarrett Stidham needs to be a smart game manager. Check the ball down. Don't put the ball in harm's way. Check down. Screens. That should have been a pick. I swear to you, that should have been a pick. That absolutely should have been a pick. How was that not an interception? How was that not an interception? That is absolute BS. That was absolute BS. I'm not even gonna argue this right there. That should have been a pick. That should have been a pick. That should have been a pick. What happened? That should have been a pick. Ah, man, I already executed to the next play. Oh my God. Let me see. Can I go to the highlights? Are you serious right now? How are we that? No. Turn around, you bum. Turn around! At the very least, that should have been an incompletion. Whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever, bro. I don't even know how that happens. That's just Madden. That's just Madden being Madden. Can't do nothing about that. But again, it comes down to the Broncos defense executing. So, we've pretty much spaced it out. The advantage for the Patriots is the advantage for the offense is the Patriots. The advantage for the defense is the Broncos. The key matchup in this game will be the Broncos defense versus the Patriots offense. We know what to look for. Now it comes down to the game prediction. Listen to me. This is not an easy decision for me to make. It'd be so easy to just say, nah, I'm off the hook. I'm not doing it. I got no reason to do it. And I think everyone will perfectly sit back and say, it's perfectly fine to say that if you want to. I'd be completely absolved of any type of, criticism in terms of, oh, you switch your plays. I'd be completely absolved. But I am going to stick with my pick. I am going down in the flames of whatever happens. I hope they win it. But I'm sticking with my pick. I've been saying this all week. I said this last week. I put my faith, trust, and belief in the Denver Broncos. I believed in them to beat Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They did not let me down. They proved me right, despite everybody telling me all week, Josh Allen's the monster and all this other stuff, and Josh Allen can will his team past the Denver Broncos. And I said Denver is going to beat them. And Denver pulled it off. So I'm going to put my trust in the Denver Broncos to execute as a football team and get this done. I have to trust in them. I have to believe in them. I have to hope that they execute offensively. I have to have faith in them consistently getting stops defensively. This is not going to be easy. Listen, Denver. Nobody believes in you. Nobody except you guys believes in you. Surprisingly, the media was actually kind of split with this. Because the Broncos are so good and the Patriots haven't exactly been this amazing, explosive offensive team, and Drake May hasn't exactly performed great in the playoffs. He's been good enough to execute, but he's turned the ball over multiple times in both games. He has not been great in the playoffs, but he's executed. Because, one can argue if it wasn't for the incompetence of the quarterback play from C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert, there's a chance they could lose both those games, especially the Texans game, because the Texans were absolutely shutting everything down, and they were really harassing Drake May. But C.J. Stroud handed them that game on a platter. But in this situation, there's no Bo Nix. There's a Jarrett Stidham, and Jarrett Stidham is not to be trusted in a situation like this. So, even if you want to pretend they're that good of a team, you know for a fact they're just not. So everybody expects the Patriots to win, and a lot of people are picking the Patriots to win, and I don't blame them for picking the Patriots to win. You should pick the Patriots to win because they have their franchise quarterback that's going to be playing in the game. If your franchise quarterback's not playing in the game, then your chances of winning the game significantly drops. So I fully understand people's mindset as to why they would choose the New England Patriots. And I don't blame anybody for picking them. But I am going to stand tall with my pick. I said back in November, I said the Denver Broncos were the best team in football. Not best team in football. They were the best team in the AFC. I said the Denver Broncos were the best team in the AFC. I actively praised that defense and said that defense is good enough to take them to the Super Bowl. I said that. I said their defense is good enough to take them to the Super Bowl. I came out here and said that, and everyone was sitting back and telling me, bro, the Bills, it's really going to be the Bills here. Look, Kansas City going to miss the playoffs. Baltimore going to miss the playoffs. Cincinnati's going to miss the playoffs. It's really going to be the Bills year. I got the Bills going to the Super Bowl. You guys say this every year, and it doesn't happen. When are you going to wake up? The Bills ain't going to the damn Super Bowl. They're not. One way or another, they're going to find a way to fail. They're going to find a way to get cooked. One way or another, they're going to fall short. It doesn't matter what they do, they're going to fall short. Sometimes it's going to be because of Josh Allen. Rarely it's because of Josh Allen, but there's going to be times because it's Josh Allen. And there's going to be times, most of the time, because of their defense. I don't think the Bills are going to get over the hump, even if they get a new head coach. Something about that franchise just seems like they don't ever seem to want to execute in the playoffs when they need to. You know, you go to 4 straight Super Bowls and lose, you definitely got to be cursed one way or another. So, you know, I don't know. Buffalo can get a whole new head coach, and I still wouldn't pick them to win the Super Bowl next year. I don't give a damn what you got to tell me. I don't trust that organization worth a damn. But everyone kept telling me Buffalo's going to Super Bowl, Buffalo's going to Super Bowl. Everyone said Houston was going to Super Bowl, and I said, yeah, Houston has the capability to go to Super Bowl, but C.J. Stroud could definitely play them out of a Super Bowl role, and that's exactly what C.J. Stroud did. They could have been in the Super Bowl if C.J. Stroud wasn't a bum. If C.J. Stroud did not play like a bum, the Houston Texans would be in the AFC Championship game right now against Denver Broncos. But because he wanted to be a bum, Houston doesn't get it done. But I sat back and said the Broncos are the best team in the conference. I said the Broncos were going to get the #1 seed over New England. I said the AFC Championship game was going to be Broncos and Patriots. And I said the Denver Broncos were going to the Super Bowl. I'm not changing my pick. I picked this team to come out of the AFC since November. I said they were the best team in the conference. I said they were going to get the #1 seed. I said they were going to host the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. And I said they were going to win that game and go on to the Super Bowl. I've been saying this for months. I'm not switching my pick. Bo Nix, no Bo Nix. I believe in the Broncos as a team. I was already iffy with Bo Nix. I said he could be potentially detrimental to this team getting to the Super Bowl. The defense is carried heavily this year. Why can't they do it one more time? What's to stop the Denver Broncos from carrying one more time against the Patriots? Who, again, have their quarterback who's healthy, but he himself, at times, has absolutely been questionable in the playoffs and has not played his best. So why? Tell me why the Broncos can't win this game. Denver, I have been defending you for months. I have been in your corner. Look at Stafford, man. 7 touchdowns, no picks, passer rating of 157.5, 26 or 34, 454. I was slinging that rock. Oh, my God. You know, he's still a good game for him, but, you know, that's what it is. Who cares about that? Rushing the ball. Kyren Williams still went off. 27 for 151 and a touchdown. Receiving-wise, it was hit. Man, Noah Fant really went off for them. It's crazy. Puka went off. That's some great numbers there. But, yeah. I know people are not believing in you, Denver. Matter of fact, switch the camera. Let's switch right now. And let's cover ourselves here. This is championship weekend. I definitely gotta fix up my green screen. Let's talk for a quick second. Denver, listen. I know nobody's believing you. Obviously, you guys are the only ones that believe in yourselves. Bronco Nation, Broncos Country, Broncos fans. I wouldn't say Broncos Nation. It's really Broncos Country. But Broncos Country, you're the only one that seems to believe in you. There have been some people that said you guys could pull off the upset. You guys have arguably the best defense left in the playoffs. It's between you and Seattle, obviously. You've been a dominant football team from top to bottom. You are a great team. Sean Payton has done a great job. Vance Joseph has done a great job. This defense has done a great job. You've had an amazing year. It is a devastating situation in which you lost your franchise quarterback in Bo Nix. But you cannot let this be the end of your story. You cannot let this be the end of the journey. You guys have been able to execute all season long. That's why you have the number 1 seed in the I think they didn't have a better record in the. I think they maybe had the same record, or maybe the Seahawks had the better record. But you were the number 1 seeded team in the AFC. And my phone is ringing as I'm trying to make a serious statement. What's up, man? Great, guys. I'm trying to give some motivation here. Denver. It's a tough time. It's a tough situation to be in. This is a tall task, but you've answered the call all season long. Sean Payton, your team has answered the call. Vance Joseph, that defense has answered the call all season long. Can you answer the call one more time? I might post this tomorrow. Shout out to Chilltown. But that motivational speech there, man, I'm looking at the Denver Broncos right now. And when it comes to Sunday, I'm going to be in your corner because I've been in your corner since November. And all I'm going to ask from you guys on Sunday, can you give me one more day? Can you give me one more day, Denver? Can you give your fans one more day? Nobody's asking for a week or a month. No one's asking you to take on the world and be this consistently. I don't know how the Super Bowl would go and what that would look like. But all I'm asking for is a week. Can you give me a week? I'm not asking for a week. All I'm asking for is one day. Can you give me one day? Can you show up as a team on Sunday with your franchise quarterback down? Can you put together the best performance of the season in your house, in front of your fans, with a chance to go to the Super Bowl? Can you give me one more day? Can you give me one more moment? Can you give me one more great defensive performance? Can you execute one more time? I don't know. I'm not much of a traveler. Maybe. I can't answer that question. I don't know. Maybe one day. I don't know. But I can't. I don't know if I will. I'm not much of a traveler. But maybe one day, dude. Maybe one day. But can you give me one more day? Can you give me one more day, Denver? Can you execute just one time? Can you tell Jarrett Stidham to just go be a game manager? Can you find a way to execute on offense? I don't care if this game ends up being a 12-9 victory. However, you got to get the job done. Find a way to get the job done. I'm looking at the defense, man. This is all you. I watched the 2015 Denver Broncos carry Peyton Manning to a championship. That same Denver Broncos team had to face off against the New England Patriots and Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game. What I saw from that Broncos defense is probably the toughest or the most brutal game I think Tom Brady has played in his career. You would have to ask the man himself. But the way the Denver Broncos swarmed Tom Brady and the hits that he took from that Broncos defense, the way they played in that AFC Championship game was truly motivating. When I saw that, I knew they were going to win the Super Bowl. Everybody was high on the Panthers. I knew that defense was going to catch Cam Newton and that offense off guard. That defense was able to soar. They were able to give Peyton Manning one more chance. And even though Peyton Manning was no longer Peyton Manning, they found a way to get it done. If you got to go talk to Von Miller or any of those other guys that were on the defense in 2015, have a conversation with them. Because the defense has to show up at home. It's on you. Your franchise quarterback is gone. It's on you to deliver come Sunday. So I come to you, Denver. Can you give me one more day? Can you execute just one time? Can you get it done in your building to head to the Super Bowl for the first time in a decade? Can you get it done, Denver? You're going to have to answer the call come Sunday. I'm putting my faith in you because I've put my faith in you since November. Bo Nix, no Bo Nix, I believe you guys can get the job done to get to the Super Bowl. Now it's time to see if you can execute come Sunday. That being said, I'm taking the Denver Broncos. I picked this team to go to the Super Bowl back in November. I'm not moving off of my pick. I believe in this defense. I believe Sean Payton will have them ready. I believe Jarrett Stidham understands that he doesn't have to help this team win the game by trying to carry and trying to do too much on offense. He just needs to run the offense, be a game manager, quick throws, easy throws, check downs, run the ball. Just be efficient when you need to be efficient. Don't try to force the issue. We've seen this with other backup quarterbacks, where they just come in and they just execute the offense as a game manager, and they walk away with a dub because you could trust the defense to make the stops needed. And the offensive players were able to execute by taking a lot of short completions for huge gains. We're going to see if the Broncos are ready to do that come Sunday. I'm putting my faith and belief in that defense. I'm putting my faith and belief in Vance Joseph's scheme for the defense, and I'm going to have to trust that Sean Payton knows what he's doing. I'm taking the Denver Broncos. So, with that being said, those are my championship picks for the NFC. I'm picking the team that I picked to win the Super Bowl way back in July. I'm taking the Rams over the Seahawks. For the AFC, I'm picking the team that I declared to be the best team in the conference, the team I said was going to get the number 1 seed, and the team I predicted to go to the Super Bowl way back in November. I'm picking the Denver Broncos. Those are my picks for championship weekend. My picks, straight up, Rams, Broncos in the Super Bowl, without a doubt. Those are my picks, and we'll see how things go. Let's be real. Whoever wins the NFC Championship is going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, I already said it. I said that already. I already said that in the stream. I said that. The second Bo Nix went down, I said whoever wins the NFC. Well, even if Bo Nix didn't go down, I still believe I picked the Rams to win. So I said the Rams and Seahawks, the winner of that matchup is going to win the Super Bowl. I've been saying that for a while now, so it's not a surprise to anybody. In fact, most people are heavily favoring the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. And if the Rams beat the Seahawks, they'll take Matthew Stafford and that high-octane offense over the Patriots or the Broncos. So, yeah, I got Rams, Broncos in the Super Bowl. I think both teams will execute and get the job done and advance to the Super Bowl. And we'll see the Rams and the Broncos battle it out to see who's going to win the Super Bowl. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that is all I've got for you today. I might try to do something tomorrow, but I do have to warn you guys, I'm not guaranteed to be here on Sunday. I'm not guaranteed to be here. Not talking about being here in my office. I'm not guaranteed to be here to stream. If you guys don't know, we are expecting a heavy storm in the Maryland area. It's the D.C., Maryland. It's basically in the DMV area. We're expecting a heavily storm this weekend. It's supposed to start Saturday evening, and it's going to snow all day Sunday. And it seems like it's going to be a lot of snow, so there's a high chance that the power is going to be cut off, and I'm going to get virtually no internet and no light. No light, no internet, no television, no nothing. Because of the storm's expectation, it's supposed to be a heavy one, I'm not fully sure I'm going to be able to even watch the championship games. Now, I'm gonna try to make sure my phone is charged and my laptop's charged because I'll have to watch the games off of that if my if my internet and my lights go off. I'm gonna have to watch it off my phone or my laptop. But I cannot guarantee I'm gonna be here to stream the championship game. And if somehow we still have power and internet, I will try to stream the championship games. But do not be surprised when things get cut off. Because 1 minute I'll be watching the game, the next minute the lights turn off, and that's just all she wrote. So I'm letting you guys know this. I'll probably try to see if I can briefly let you guys know this tomorrow, that I probably won't be able to stream championship weekend because the power is probably going to be off in my residence because it's going to be a heavy storm in Maryland. But if we somehow have light, if we somehow have internet, and I'm able to stream, I'll give it a shot for the championship games. But I wouldn't hold your breath. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. I wouldn't be on the lookout for a stream from Keeping It Real this weekend because Keeping It Real is going to be stuck at home due to the storm. And Keeping It Real is probably going to be in the dark for the better part of who knows how long. So I'm already trying to prepare myself. I got to make sure all my devices are charged and I'm ready for Sunday. So we'll just have to see how things go. But I'm prepared for the darkness. I'm prepared for the power to go out, and I'm prepared for the TV to go out. I'm prepared for the internet to go out, and I'll just have to watch the championship game on my phone. If/when I get some power back, cool. Hell, I might get lucky. Maybe the storm's not as bad as they think and the power doesn't cut off and we get to stream the games. I would love that, but I can't guarantee that's going to be the case. So I just want to warn you guys now. Championship Sunday, I may not be here for it, even though I'm going to be here to watch it. I may not be here for it because there's a high chance the power in the neighborhood will be taken off. Patriots will win Sunday. We'll find out. I got the Broncos. We'll see how things go. Patriots are expected to win because Bo Nix is gone. But again, I picked the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl way back in November. I'm not switching my pick. Broncos don't got Bo Nix. With or without Bo Nix, I believe, again, I wasn't high on Bo Nix either way. I didn't pick the Denver Broncos because of Bo Nix. I picked the Denver Broncos because of what they are collectively as a team, specifically that defense. I'm not too high on Bo Nix. I even said when it comes to who you trust more as a quarterback, Bo Nix or Drake May, you trust Drake May 100%. Drake May has been more consistent and more trustable between the two. So I'll take the Denver Broncos. I picked the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl even though I didn't trust Bo Nix. And if you watch how the season's gone, there's been times where they've won games in spite of Bo Nix, because Bo Nix and the offense have been inconsistent throughout the year. Bo Nix and the offense have been problematic throughout the year. The Patriots, again, if Drake May does not play well, that could be trouble for them, but it doesn't mean that the defense hasn't been able to show up and stand out. But yeah, I'm picking the Broncos. I'm picking the Broncos. Again, the Broncos from top to bottom are the better team. The Patriots just have the more consistent quarterback, and I can say it for sure because Bo Nix is not playing. They got the better quarterback by far. So if the Broncos defense, the main matchup of this game will be Broncos defense versus Patriots offense. If that Broncos defense shuts down the Patriots offense, Denver has a shot to go to the Super Bowl. If they cannot slow down Drake May, that's going to be a problem. And Drake May has not played great in the playoffs. In both playoff games, he has fumbled the ball multiple times. He has multiple fumbles. He has multiple picks in this postseason. That plays a role in things. I'm not just going to ignore the multiple turnovers he's had in both games. Denver can create turnovers. Denver can get to the quarterback. Denver can make stops. So I'm going to trust in the Denver Broncos to get the job done. We'll see what happens come Sunday. Anyway, guys, I have some things I got to take care of before I go to sleep. So, yeah. I'm going to end things here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We actually played both championship games, and obviously I played as the team that I expect to win. I beat the Broncos. Not beat the Broncos. I beat the Patriots with the Broncos, and I beat the Seahawks with the Rams. Broncos and Rams are my Super Bowl picks, so I expect the Super Bowl to be Rams versus Broncos. And, of course, because I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl, the Rams are going to ultimately beat the Broncos to win the Super Bowl, just like I predicted back in July. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. It should be an interesting championship Sunday. Both matchups are going to be great. I can't wait to see how things are going to go. But with that being said, that is all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for pulling up to the stream. I appreciate you all. And with that being said, I am going to head on out of here. You guys, be sure to stay safe and peace out.